They expect silence. They expect distance. They expect you to vanish into the void of no contact, nursing your wounds in the dark. But what they won't expect is indifference, because true power isn't found in absence, it's found in absolute detachment. The world has taught us that walking away, cutting ties, and ignoring someone is the ultimate display of strength. But the ancient Stoics knew something even more powerful, something that goes beyond mere silence. It's not about disappearing. It's about becoming untouchable. No contact is a strategy of avoidance. But what if you didn't need avoidance at all? What if you could exist in the same space as them, hear their words, see their actions, and remain utterly unmoved? What if their presence meant as little to you as the wind passing through the trees? This is the Stoic strategy they won't see coming. Not no contact, not anger, not revenge, but a level of inner peace so profound that their existence no longer affects yours. They expect a reaction. They expect emotional withdrawal. They expect you to play their game. But the strongest move is refusing to play at all. 1. No contact versus Stoic strategy. Why no contact is popular, but how Stoic philosophy offers an even more powerful alternative. We live in a world that glorifies control. When relationships fracture, whether romantic, familial, or professional, the go-to strategy is often no contact. Cut them off. Disappear. Let silence speak louder than words. And it works, and to an extent. No contact can help reset emotions, enforce boundaries, and create space to heal. But there's a flaw hidden beneath its power. It still revolves around them. Because even in silence, you're thinking about them. Even in avoidance, you're reacting to them. Your absence is still an action dictated by their presence. And that's where Stoic philosophy offers something even stronger. The illusion of control. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, understood something that modern minds often overlook. True power doesn't come from controlling others. It comes from mastering yourself. No contact is about control. It says, I will remove myself so that you feel my absence. But what if you didn't need to remove yourself at all? What if you could stand in the same room, hear their voice, see their actions, and feel absolutely nothing? That is the difference between reaction and detachment. The Stoic does not flee from discomfort. He does not need silence to find peace. He cultivates an unshakable mind, one that does not waver, whether in presence or absence. From avoidance to indifference, imagine two warriors. One turns his back and walks away from the battlefield, refusing to engage. The other stands in the heart of chaos, unaffected by the storm around him. Who is stronger? No contact is the first warrior. It removes you from the battlefield. But Stoicism? It turns you into the second warrior. You don't need distance. You don't need avoidance. You need indifference. Indifference does not mean a lack of feeling. It means freedom from the weight of external events. It means understanding that nothing outside of your control deserves your emotional energy. Epictetus once said, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Think about that. If their words, their actions, their mere existence still have the power to affect you, then they still own a part of you. No contact gives you space, but Stoicism gives you freedom, the ultimate power move. So what is the real power move? It's not silence, it's not avoidance, it's transcendence. The true Stoic does not need to remove someone from their life to move on. They simply remove the attachment, the weight, the need for validation or revenge. They walk through life with a mind so fortified that no external force, no person, no rejection, no betrayal can shake them. That is the strategy they won't see coming. Not no contact, not emotional withdrawal, but a state of being where their presence, their words, their very existence simply do not matter. But how do you achieve this level of detachment? How do you train your mind to be completely unfazed by what once controlled you? The answer lies in mastering one of Stoicism's core principles, the understanding of control. Because once you realize what is truly in your control, you will never be controlled again. Fade to black. Next topic, the Stoic view on control. 2. The Stoic view on control. Understanding what is within your control and what isn't. Most of us spend our lives fighting battles we can never win. We try to control outcomes, change people's opinions, force events to align with our desires. And when reality doesn't bend to our will, frustration takes over. But what if we've been fighting the wrong battles all along? This is where the Stoics held an unshakable advantage over the modern mind. They understood a truth so simple, yet so profound, that it freed them from the emotional roller coaster of life. There are only two things in this world: what is within your control and what isn't. Everything you suffer from, everything that disturbs your peace comes from misunderstanding this division. The dichotomy of control. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, laid this out plainly. Some things are up to us and some things are not. What's within your control? Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. What's outside of your control? Everything else. The opinions of others, not in your control. The past, not in your control. The future, not in your control. Other people's actions, words, betrayals, not in your control. Yet most people live their lives as if they should be able to control these things. And because of that, they suffer. They obsess over what someone said, replay painful memories, or stress over an uncertain future. They grip the steering wheel, cursing the traffic, as if their anger could part the sea of cars. The Stoic, however, takes a different approach. The liberation of letting go. Imagine a ship caught in a storm. A frantic captain might try to command the waves, shout at the clouds, demand the rain to stop. A Stoic captain, on the other hand, does something different. He focuses on what he can control. He adjusts the sails. He steadies his grip. He navigates the best he can, knowing that the storm is beyond him. That's the difference between someone ruled by emotions and someone ruled by wisdom. The moment you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you become untouchable. You stop wasting energy on what people think of you. You stop resenting the past or fearing the future. You direct all your focus, all your power, to the only thing that has ever been yours: yourself. How this makes you unshakable. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome, ruled through war, plague, and betrayal. Yet in his private journals, he never once wrote about trying to control others. Instead, he wrote things like, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This isn't just philosophy, it's a weapon. When you accept this, you gain something priceless: freedom. If someone insults you, does it affect you? Only if you let it. If life throws obstacles in your way, do you suffer? Only if you resist reality instead of adapting to it. The moment you truly internalize this principle, you step into a level of power most people will never reach. You stop reacting. You stop chasing. You stop needing the world to conform to your expectations. Instead, you move with life, not against it. But even with this understanding, one question remains. How do you control your own emotions? How do you stop yourself from reacting, from falling into the same traps over and over again? That's where the next Stoic principle comes in: emotional mastery over silence. Because power isn't found in simply controlling your reactions. It's in making sure you don't need to react at all. Fade to black. Next topic: emotional mastery over silence. 3. Emotional mastery over silence. Instead of simply cutting off contact, develop an internal. We've been taught that silence is power, that walking away, ignoring, or withholding a response is the ultimate display of strength. And at times, it is. But the deeper truth, the Stoic truth, is that silence alone is meaningless unless it is backed by internal mastery. Because silence is often just a mask, a way to suppress emotions rather than conquer them. You can cut someone off, you can block them, delete their number, disappear completely. But if your mind is still chained to them, if your thoughts still revolve around them, you are not free. Silence is an external action. Mastery is an internal state. And that is the real goal, not avoiding them but making them irrelevant. Why reaction is weakness. Epictetus once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." Think about that. If someone's words, actions, or absence still control your emotions, then they still own a part of you. This is why simply walking away isn't enough. Because if you leave in anger and resentment, in the hope that your absence will make them suffer, you haven't actually let go. You're still reacting. You're still playing the game. True Stoic power is in not needing to react at all. If they insult you and you remain unaffected, not pretending to be unaffected but truly indifferent, then you've won. If they ghost you and you feel nothing, no anger, no sadness, no need for closure, then you've won. If they try to manipulate you and you see through it with calm detachment, then you've won. Because the moment you require nothing from them, no response, no validation, no revenge, you become untouchable, the mindset shift that changes everything. So how do you achieve this level of mastery? How do you reach a point where you genuinely don't care, not in a bitter, resentful way, but in a freeing way? The key is a shift in perception. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Most people live in a state of emotional slavery. They let external events dictate their internal state. They believe their happiness depends on how others treat them, how situations unfold, how life plays out. But a Stoic understands the deeper truth. Your emotions are yours to command. You don't need anyone to validate you. You don't need closure. You don't need an apology. You don't need to prove anything. The only thing you need is yourself. How to build an unshakable mindset. Control the narrative. When your mind starts spinning stories, they don't care. I need to fix this. I'll never move on. Pause. Recognize that thoughts are not reality. They are just mental noise. And you control which thoughts you give power to. Detach from the outcome. The world is unpredictable. People will leave, situations will change. But none of this has to define you. The Stoic does not demand that life unfolds in a specific way. They simply adapt. Master your emotions, master your life. When you feel anger, sadness, or anxiety rise, don't resist it. Observe it. Detachment isn't about suppression. It's about awareness. You acknowledge the feeling, but you don't let it consume you. Stop playing the game. The reason silence often fails is because people use it as a strategy, not as a state of being. They wait for a reaction. They hope their absence will make an impact. The real power move? Not caring whether it does or not. Live for yourself, not for revenge. Many people hold on to pain because they secretly hope the other person will suffer, will regret, will come back. But here's the truth. Revenge is nothing compared to indifference. The moment you genuinely stop caring is the moment you win. The ultimate freedom. Imagine a version of yourself who no longer flinches at insults, who doesn't replay the past, who doesn't seek closure or approval. That version of you is possible. And it doesn't come from no contact. It doesn't come from running away. It comes from standing still, looking at everything that once controlled you and realizing it no longer does. But here's the real challenge. What if you could not only detach, but actually embrace whatever happens? What if, instead of resisting life, you could learn to love everything it brings, good or bad? That's where the next Stoic principle comes in. Indifference and Amor Fati, the power of accepting everything. Because true strength isn't just found in detachment, it's found in radical acceptance. Fade to black. Next topic, indifference and Amor Fati. True power lies in acceptance. 4. Indifference and Amor Fati. True power lies in complete detachment and acceptance. Most people go through life fighting reality. They resist pain. They cling to expectations. They wish things had happened differently. They waste energy trying to control the uncontrollable. But the Stoics knew a secret. A truth so powerful that once understood, it changes everything. True strength comes not from resistance, but from complete acceptance. Not just tolerance, not just endurance, but a love for whatever happens, good, bad, painful, unexpected. This is Amor Fati, the love of fate. And this is what separates those who suffer from those who are free. The illusion of control versus the power of acceptance. Imagine two people lose their jobs on the same day. The first person spirals into anger and despair. Why me? He asks. He blames his boss. He curses the economy. He drowns in regret, wishing he had done something differently. The second person, however, reacts differently. He pauses. He takes a deep breath. Then he says to himself, "This is happening. I cannot change the past. I cannot control the decisions of others, but I can control how I respond. And I will use this as fuel." Which of these two people has power? The first remains trapped, clinging to what should have been, wasting his energy fighting something that already is. The second? He moves forward, unburdened by what he cannot change. This is the difference between suffering and freedom, between resistance and acceptance. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, put it simply: what happens to you has been waiting to happen since the beginning of time. In other words, fate is not your enemy. It is simply reality unfolding. You can fight it or you can embrace it, and the moment you embrace it, you become untouchable. Indifference, the path to invincibility. Most people misunderstand Stoic indifference. They think it means not caring about anything, but that is not true. Stoic indifference means this: if something happens and you can control it, act. If something happens and you cannot control it, accept. Either way, you remain at peace. Indifference is not weakness, it is power. It is the ability to look at loss, betrayal, failure, and rejection and say, this does not break me because it does not define me. Nothing that happens to you is good or bad. It simply is. And your suffering comes not from the event itself, but from the meaning you attach to it. Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Detach from your expectations. Detach from how you wish things were. Detach from the illusion of control. And you will find something rare: peace in the chaos. Amor Fati, the next level of freedom. Indifference is freedom from suffering, but Amor Fati is something even greater. It is not just accepting life as it is loving it. It is looking at every hardship and saying, good, this will make me stronger. It is embracing every setback as fuel for growth. It is seeing every loss as a necessary step on your path. The Stoic does not just endure misfortune, he welcomes it, because he knows that every challenge is a test and every test is an opportunity to sharpen himself. Friedrich Nietzsche, who admired the Stoics, said, my formula for greatness in a human being is Amor Fati. That one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. Not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it. That is the highest form of strength. Not just detachment, but a deep, unwavering love for whatever comes your way. How to apply this in your life? Practice neutral thinking. When something happens, strip away emotion. See it for what it is, not what you wish it was. Ask, what can this teach me? Every event, no matter how painful, contains a lesson. Find it. Use it. Let go of good and bad. Stop labeling events. Instead of saying, this is terrible, say, this is happening. Focus only on how you will respond. Live as if you chose everything that happens. Instead of resisting life, imagine that everything, every loss, every hardship, every challenge, is exactly what you needed. Accept it fully. The ultimate power. Think of the strongest person you know, the one who never seems shaken, the one who remains calm no matter what happens. That person has likely mastered Amor Fati, because the ultimate power is not in controlling the world. It is in becoming so free that no event, no person, no circumstance can break you. To fight life is to suffer. To accept life is to be at peace. But to love life as it is without resistance, that is where true power lies. But there's still one final piece to becoming truly unshakable: learning how to live without attachment. Because power isn't just about embracing the present, it's about never clinging to anything at all. That's where the next Stoic principle comes in: non-attachment, the freedom of letting go. Because when you realize that nothing is yours to begin with, you will never suffer from losing it. Fade to black. Next topic, non-attachment, the freedom of letting go. Bio, the art of strategic detachment, a deeper, more conscious withdrawal rather than reactionary silence. Most people misunderstand detachment. They see it as cold, emotionless, or passive. They think of it as retreat, running away from what they cannot control. But true detachment is not weakness, it is power. It is not the mindless silence of the wounded. It is the calculated silence of the master. A withdrawal not out of fear, but out of understanding. A step back, not to escape, but to regain control. This is strategic detachment, the ability to remove yourself from a situation not because you are powerless, but because you are powerful. Reaction versus strategy, the key difference. Most people withdraw out of reaction. They go silent in anger, in bitterness, in the desperate hope that their absence will provoke a response. They use silence as a weapon, not as wisdom. But the Stoic does not react. The The Stoic responds, "There is a difference between emotional withdrawal and strategic detachment. Emotional withdrawal is impulsive. It is fueled by anger, resentment, or the need to punish. Strategic detachment is intentional. It is based on self-mastery, wisdom, and the ability to see the bigger picture. Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free," and bravery does not mean fighting every battle. Sometimes it means choosing not to fight, because you understand that true power is found in stillness, in restraint, in the ability to walk away with dignity, not desperation. The power of non-reactivity. Imagine someone insults you, calls you weak, tries to provoke a reaction. If you lash out, if you defend yourself, if you let their words dictate your emotions, who is in control? They are. But if you simply look at them unaffected, if you turn and walk away not out of anger but out of indifference, if you choose not to engage because their opinion means nothing, who has the power now? You do. This is strategic detachment. It is the ability to say, "I do not need to respond. I do not need to prove myself. I do not need to play this game at all." The moment you realize this, the moment you own this mindset, you become untouchable. How to practice strategic detachment. Pause before you act. When something provokes you, do not react immediately. Instead, take a breath. Step back. Observe your emotions without letting them dictate your response. Detach from the need for validation. Most people stay engaged in conflicts because they want to be heard, understood, or justified. But the truth is, you do not need validation from anyone. The Stoic understands that inner peace is more valuable than external approval. Move with purpose, not emotion. Silence is only powerful when it comes from strength. Do not withdraw because you are hurt. Withdraw because you choose to, because you see the futility in engaging. Master the art of walking away. Not every battle needs to be fought. The Stoic knows when to speak and when to remain silent, when to engage and when to leave. Sometimes the most powerful move is simply to remove yourself entirely. Live as if nothing is owed to you. Most suffering comes from expectations, expecting fairness, respect, loyalty. But the Stoic expects nothing, and therefore is never disappointed. Strategic detachment is about realizing that you are not entitled to anyone's behavior. You simply observe what is and act accordingly. The strength of disengagement. Imagine a chess game. A skilled player does not move out of impulse. He studies the board. He thinks several moves ahead. He sacrifices pieces strategically, not out of emotion, but because he sees the bigger picture. This is how the Stoic operates in life. They do not waste time on petty conflicts. They do not chase people who do not respect them. They do not beg for explanations or closure. They simply see things as they are and they act accordingly, with wisdom, with control, with power. Because in the end, detachment is not about silence. It is about sovereignty over your own mind, the ultimate power. Think about the people in your life who drain your energy, the situations that pull you into negativity, the moments when you feel the urge to react, to engage, to fight for something that is already lost. Now ask yourself, what if I simply stepped back? Not out of defeat, not out of weakness, but because I refuse to waste my energy on what does not serve me. That is the art of strategic detachment, and that is where true power lies. But detachment alone is not enough, because the ultimate strength is not just in removing yourself. It is in redirecting your focus, in turning your energy toward what truly matters. That's where the next Stoic principle comes in. Redirecting energy from obsession to purpose. Because the best way to detach from what drains you is to pour yourself into something greater. Fade to black. Next topic, redirecting energy from obsession to purpose. Sayings. Internal versus external validation. How Stoicism removes emotional dependency. From the moment we are born, we are conditioned to seek validation. As children, we crave approval from parents. As students, we want good grades to prove our worth. As adults, we measure ourselves by likes, followers, and the opinions of others. But the Stoics saw through this illusion. They understood that true power comes from within, not from external praise, not from reputation, not from how others perceive us. Because the moment your self-worth depends on something outside of you, you are no longer free. The key to emotional mastery is this: Detach from external validation. Build an unshakable foundation within yourself. The trap of external validation. Imagine you post something online, it gets hundreds of likes, comments, and praise. You feel a rush of excitement, you feel important. Now imagine the next time you post again, but this time there's silence, no engagement, no recognition. Do you suddenly feel less valuable? Do you begin to doubt yourself? If so, you have fallen into the trap of external validation. And this is a dangerous game. Because when your happiness depends on others, you become their prisoner. Seneca warned against this when he said, "If you live according to the opinion of others, you will never be rich in yourself." What does this mean? It means if you rely on others to tell you that you are good enough, successful enough, or worthy enough, you will always be at their mercy. A Stoic refuses to play this game. The power of internal validation. Now picture someone who operates differently. Someone who does not seek approval. Someone who does not care whether they are praised or ignored. They do not measure themselves by applause, by recognition, or by social status. Why? Because they have already validated themselves. They have built an internal standard, a personal code, one that does not waver regardless of what the outside world says. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, put it this way: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This means your confidence, your sense of worth, your identity must come from within. It must not depend on how many people agree with you, whether someone compliments or criticizes you, whether society recognizes your achievements. Because once you master this, you become unshakable. How to stop seeking external validation? Set your own standards. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be? Not based on what society expects, but on your own principles. Measure yourself against your own values, not the opinions of others. Detach from praise and criticism. If someone praises you, accept it with humility, but do not let it define you. If someone criticizes you, listen, but do not let it control you. Either way, remain the same. Do things for their own sake. Create, learn, improve, not for recognition, but because it is who you are. A true Stoic finds fulfillment in the work itself, not in external rewards. Practice being unnoticed. If you feel the need for attention, try this. Deliberately go a day without seeking approval. Make decisions without telling anyone. See how it feels to exist without validation. Remind yourself, no one cares as much as you think. People are too busy with their own lives to constantly think about yours. The world moves on, whether you are praised or forgotten. The ultimate freedom. Imagine waking up one day and realizing you no longer care if people approve of you. You no longer need recognition to feel worthy. You are free from the highs and lows of public opinion. How powerful would that be? This is what the Stoics mastered. This is what true strength looks like. This is what emotional freedom feels like. Final thought. At the end of the day, external validation is an illusion. It is fleeting, unreliable, and outside your control. But internal validation? That is unbreakable. It is yours and yours alone. The world may ignore you. The world may misunderstand you. The world may not recognize your greatness. But a Stoic does not need the world. A Stoic needs only himself. But true strength is not just about validating yourself. It's about staying steady no matter what happens. Whether you gain everything or lose it all, your inner state must remain the same. That's where the next Stoic principle comes in. Equanimity, remaining unshaken through life's highs and lows. Because true mastery is not just in detaching from validation, but in staying grounded no matter what life throws at you. Fade to black. Next topic, equanimity, remaining unshaken through life's highs and lows. 7. Unpredictability and psychological strength, making yourself truly unfazed and unconquerable. Most people are like the surface of the ocean, constantly reacting to the storms of life. If someone praises them, they rise. If someone insults them, they fall. They are predictable, easily provoked, easily manipulated. But the Stoic is like the deep waters below, still, controlled, impenetrable. They do not react to insults. They do not break under pressure. They do not flinch in the face of the unexpected, because they have cultivated something rare, something most people lack: unpredictability and psychological strength. And when you master these two things, you become truly unconquerable, Why being predictable makes you weak. The world has conditioned people to be predictable. When they are praised, they seek more approval. When they are criticized, they defend themselves. When things don't go their way, they complain or lash out. This makes them easy to control. If someone knows exactly how you will react, they own you. If they know they can make you angry, they will push your buttons. If they know they can break you with silence, they will withdraw. The predictable person is a puppet, controlled by circumstances, emotions, and the opinions of others. But the Stoic refuses to be a puppet. How to cultivate unpredictability. Control your reactions. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause. Do not react. Do not give them the satisfaction of seeing you flustered. Remain calm, unreadable. Detach from expected responses. If you always respond the same way, people will know exactly how to manipulate you. Break the pattern. If you normally argue, stay silent. If you normally retreat, hold your ground. Keep them guessing. Never crave approval. When people sense that you need their validation, they will use it against you. But if you are indifferent, if you are content whether they approve or not, you become untouchable. Master the art of walking away. Some battles are won by fighting. Others are won by leaving the battlefield entirely. Know when to engage and when to disappear. Remain emotionally unreadable. Do not wear your emotions on your sleeve. Do not reveal your weaknesses. The less others know about what affects you, the more power you have. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. When you master your mind, you become unpredictable. When you become unpredictable, you become powerful." Psychological strength, the key to being unconquerable. Now, unpredictability alone is not enough. It must be backed by something deeper, unshakable mental strength. This means you do not crumble under pressure. You do not seek comfort or security. You do not fear hardship, you embrace it. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." The Stoic welcomes challenges. The Stoic expects adversity because they know that every struggle is fuel for their strength. Psychological strength is built through voluntary discomfort. Train yourself to be comfortable with discomfort. Take cold showers, skip a meal, sleep on the floor. Teach your mind that you can endure anything. Expectation of hardship. Most people suffer because they expect life to be easy. The Stoic expects difficulty, so they are never surprised when it comes. Emotional detachment. Do not allow emotions to dictate your actions. Feel them, acknowledge them, but do not let them control you. Radical self-reliance. The strong do not wait for someone to save them. They do not depend on others for happiness or stability. They create it within themselves. Facing fear head-on. If something scares you, confront it. Run toward your fears, not away from them. The more you face, the less power fear has over you. The ultimate power, becoming unfazed. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing no one's opinion can shake you. No situation can break you. No insult, no setback, no loss can destroy your inner peace. Because you have trained yourself to be strong. Because you have conditioned your mind to remain calm. Because you have become what others fear the most, untouchable. This is the power of the Stoic mind. Not cold, not emotionless, but calm, focused, invincible. Final thought. In a world where everyone is predictable, where people are slaves to their emotions, where minds are weak and easily controlled, the Stoic stands alone, unshaken, unbreakable, unfazed. This is the power of unpredictability. This is the strength of the mind. This is what makes you truly unconquerable. But strength alone is not enough. Because true mastery is not just about defending yourself, it is about shifting your energy towards something greater. That's where the next Stoic principle comes in. The redirection of focus, turning pain into power. Because the best way to remain unfazed is not just to withstand hardship, but to use it as fuel for your purpose. In a world where emotions rule, where people are easily controlled by praise and criticism, where minds are fragile and predictable, the Stoic stands apart. The Stoic is not moved by the opinions of others. The Stoic does not crumble under hardship. The Stoic does not react, they respond. And because of this, the Stoic is truly free. Freedom is not found in escaping pain. It is not found in controlling others. It is found in mastering yourself. When you embrace unpredictability, when you build psychological strength, when you learn to remain calm in chaos, you become unfazed, unshaken, unconquerable. So the question is, are you ready to break free? Are you ready to stop being ruled by emotions? Are you ready to stop reacting to every insult, every setback, every moment of discomfort? Are you ready to build an inner world so strong that nothing external can shake you? Because that is the Stoic path. That is the path of ultimate control, ultimate resilience, ultimate freedom. If you found value in this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because this journey doesn't end here. There is more to master, more to learn, more to become. And if you're truly ready to take control of your mind, drop a comment below. I am unshaken. Let's see who is truly walking the Stoic path. Until next time, stay strong, stay steady, stay stoic.